What's up, Digidestins? This is Kyle D, better known as RideMyAvatar, and today we have a good one for you. So I have a solid Japanese Tuesday going for you. This is just to look at all the over the seas. We're catching up pretty quickly, so we'll be eventually just having a universal every deck kind of situation where it's going to be a great data pool to pull from where we're all even, and so deck creations on a similar level. And I can't wait to be able to do like meta discussions on the format a little bit more, so we're not playing catch up. But you know what, let's dive in this video and talk about it. So let's take a look here. This is what we're taking a look at right now. We have the winning deck recipes. It looks like purple Lord Nightmon has moved up to the top slot, followed by blue Armor Bodies, blue Flare, Fenrir Luga, Mirage Galga, purple Hybrid, blue Green Imperial, Miasmon, Sun and Moon, Royal Bases, Dukemon, Xros Heart, 7 Great Demon Lords, Dynasmon, Darula, blah 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 blah, the Dex deck, the Red Hybrid, Nightmon, Lucimon, Millenniumon, Plants Fairy, Sakuya, Shine Greymon, Cendrillmon, this is Cinderella, D Reaper, Red Black Greymon, Red Blue Omega, Kazuamon, Yellow Armors, Pulsemon. The whole works here actually. Everybody's kind of in the top slots here. We kind of got a good understanding. Purple Lord Nightmon has been taking up the reins fast, and we covered that, I think, deck last video, so definitely check that out if you want to. But let's talk about some of the lists this week. It's kind of going to be a little bit more akin to what we're expecting BT 19, BT 20, so our version 2.5. So taking a look here, this is Diaboromon with the big Z Millenniumon here. So the whole concept is use your tokens to your advantage. And what do I mean by this? So Diaboromon produces tokens at a rapid rate, and all you need to do is get a stack with Z Millenniumon on it, and then you have a second stack from the raising, creating great opportunities for you. And what do I mean by great opportunities? I mean they're going to produce tokens, and when the tokens, because of how overclock works, you're going to pop your token, be able to swing in for an Unga Bunga big boy numbers. So taking a look, use, like I said, overclock for the tokens which Diaboromon produces on play when attacking and when digivolving by returning one card from your opponent's trash to the top of the deck. Return one of their Digimon to the bottom of the deck. All turns Digimon with no Digievolution cannot suspend and isn't affected by your effects. But this is really cool. By returning one Digimon from your opponent's trash to the top of the deck, return one of their bottoms. This is constantly controlling, so instead of using like Quartzmon, I mean, this deck is just going with Z Millenniumon, which is not a bad idea, to be honest with you. It's a big enough threat, and they also have Armageddonmon being another threat as well, being able to, when this card would be played from hand, by placing 13 cards with unidentified traits or Diaboromon's text from your trash to the bottom of the deck, reduce the play cost by 1 for each. And then it's got an on-play when digivolving, delete up to 15 play cost total worth of your opponent's Digimon, and then this Digimon can also attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. So Armageddonmon is just going to help clear board as well. But taking a look though, straight across, Diaboromon, both. This one produces a token at starter main and when digivolving, and this one produces 2 tokens when digivolving. So they're both all going to gain some very much vital utility, and this can lead to being pressure through the tokens or pressure through Z Millenniumon. And it's a very solid list to go with. A lot of players are tinkering with the list. People are saying, oh, this is going to be a scary deck to deal with. It's only got him one top, so I'm not holding my breath for anything. So just keep this in mind. But we have the Rapidmon deck as well. So Saint Gargo or Mega Gargomon. So taking a look across the board of what you're kind of be working with is, this is all the new cards that got introduced, really, and then we need to get the Kala. So if you take a look, Gallamon's pretty interesting. this thing is ridiculous actually for its card, for its text. So on deletion, place this card at the top of your security stack. Security, you may play one Digimon with 2000 DP or less from your hand without paying its cost. Made by suspending this Digimon, one of your Digimon may digivolve into a Digimon from your hand with the Digivolution cost reduced by 2. And then all turns the Digimon can't attack or block. So he just sits there and be's a little cute little boy. But this is the kind of new cards you got to work with. So in BT 19, you get starter main if you have Henry or Gallantmon, gain a memory, and then suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Then you have Gargomon, that's when digivolving if you have one or fewer tamers. You may play one Henry from your hand without paying its cost. So this is really decent because now you get to extend because you need your Henrys a lot. This one gains a memory, and when any of your Digimon digivolves into a green Digimon, suspend this tamer, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. This lets you get those swings in, which you kind of want to have. You then do have the new Rapidmon Ace by hand blast Digivolution, and on play when digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon or tamers. Then one of their Digimon or tamers can't unsuspend until the end of the turn. So they're both really solid in the fact that this Rapidmon's going to help you with its Ace with Mega Gargomon Ace, so that now you can kind of just lock down a little bit of the board. And then they have access to what they're playing also in the list is Trinity Burst. So being able to produce 2 more tokens that are very, very powerful, because now, you know, you get Alliance twice. So if you have the ability to be able to use 8, which, let's be straight honest, I don't see it, but you know, I get what they're trying to do so that you get double Alliance, so that this thing can clear 3 securities without breaking a sweat. And that's not a bad trade-off, you know. For an 8 cost, produce 2 body tokens, Alliance twice, and it attacks, you know, that is a really powerful skill, because then you basically get what, 6, 12, 20,000 DP, Alliance 2. So you're taking out 3 security. Your opponent's not going to enjoy that. And then you have the new Mega Gargomon when digivolving when attacking by returning one of your opponent's suspended Digimon to the bottom of the deck. You know what? That's not a bad trade-off, especially with Henry, because now you get to clear the board a little bit. So it all balances out. I don't think this Mega Gargo is what you really want. I think we need another Mega Gargo that's a little bit better than this one, because let's be honest, the starter deck one was just leagues ahead. Then we have Tsukuyomonn. This deck, you know what I'm talking about here, but we're going to talk about the plugins and stuff. So taking a look here, you have Digivolution plugin S that lets you main draw a card and then gets to digivolve. Then you have the one that gives jamming, the one that gets security +1, and then this one is pause plugin, which until the end opponent's turn, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 6,000 DP, and that Digimon when digivolve effects do not activate. So a lot of players use this card to kind of mitigate some of the when digivolving shenanigans that you get to see. So this really helps against armors because of the Magnamon X antibody. This helps to shut it down a little bit. But taking a look though, they use the new Talmon to, if it's your turn, you may use one single color option with cost 5 or less from your hand without paying its cost. If your opponent if it's your opponent's turn, then for the turn, one of their opponent's Digimon gets security attack -1, and then that Digimon's when digivolving don't activate. I like that they created a way of basically shutting down what Magnamon X antibody does. You know, being able to activate your when digivolving effects for ridiculously cheap interaction is really solid. So Talmon Ace really does help that out. So I think having the evolutionary line we have access to Kazuamon. The new Tsukuyomonn is also very beneficial with its barrier, and they all just want to play their plugins. So it definitely helps out with your Rukia style play, and it's not a bad trade-off in my opinion. This is a very solid list, and I think this is a great starting base for a lot of players that are just trying to pick up the Talmon stuff. So let's keep this in mind. Then we did get a Rukia build that is centered around their plugins a bit, but it's centered around producing tokens actually. So let's take a look here real quick. So they're using Trinity Burst. If they already have Cendrillmon up, so you'll be able to attack with its natural ability. So, and then I think you can because now you've used the option to attack with, you can use the overclock to pop tokens, so you can get at least 4 damage in with your Cendrillmon. And if your board is wide enough, you could easily manipulate it in a way where you can get a bunch more damage in, because of how Cendrillmon works. Is she's going to play 2 tokens. If those tokens are still on your turn and then you use Trinity Burst, now you have 8 tokens on board. This thing could literally clear out enough damage, because first off, Trinity Burst will activate, and then if you had a puppet, if you had enough tokens anyway, you could deal at least what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage on its own. And that can be very scary for a lot of players. So I think it's a really interesting deck idea that might need some evolution on it, but I think this is a good starting point, and I think a lot of players might test this out as their way of testing out Cendrillmon with the combination of Rukia, because I think this is a really good starting point, especially with the new Rukia as well. You may use one option with with a cost 2 or more by suspending the stamina, gain of memory. So it kind of tries to eliminate the value of Trinity Burst, which is not bad. I think this is a lot of good potential across the board, and I like how people are innovating with Trinity Burst, because it has a lot of potential. Because of the double alliance, you know, it's really solid. I mean, hold up, one of your level 5 gains alliance too. So let me rephrase my earlier statements here. So if you could have enough memory, you could definitely make it so your level 5 has that alliance too. And then if you can digivolve into Cendrillmon afterwards, which is a strong feat, to be straight honest with you, to be able to do this 8 and get back your turn is kind of a lot. So yeah, you can definitely do it. So it'll be the Talmon doing the shenanigans, and then you can use Cendrillmon if you can digivolve into Cendrillmon as well. So it's got potential. I think the most common place is going to be using its level 5, using a level 5, you know, gains alliance and attacks. So I think that's going to be very commonplace. What's really interesting here, well, it doesn't ignores color requirement as long as you have one, play one, rapid Talmon and rapid token. This effect may not play a token with the same name as any of your Digimon. Then for the turn, one of your Digimon, level 5 Digimon gains alliance and attacks. So can't use the tokens to do it, but yeah, it's so basically what you're gonna have is Talmon out, Trinity Burst, push the tokens, swing in with the alliance, and then if you have Cendrillmon already on board, she's gonna pop one of the tokens to be able to swing in. A very clean 4 attack. If you could magically get 8 memory, because if your opponent just gives you 8, yeah, you're just gonna go ham. You have the Talmon up, then you use Trinity Burst, produce the 2 tokens, swing in, clear 3, play Cendrillmon, because it gains the alliance and it'll keep the alliance. You'll swing in again with Cendrillmon and then be able to clear out the rest, is what I remember how that works. So you can alliance as many times as you can, as long as you have the requirements, as long as you can unsuspend. So yeah, that's how that goes. Then we do have Xros Heart, and they're playing Millenniumon as well. Xros Heart is very interesting to take a look here. So if you guys know, they are playing the new Shoutmon, the new Omni Shout. So at least now they have plenty of targets that give rush. They're playing the Shoutmon ×5 because, yeah, Shoutmon is the basically star that you want to find. But, you know, when this Digimon would leave the barrier by placing up to 3 of your Xros Heart traits from this Digivolution under one of your Tamers, then on deletion, you may play 1 Xros Heart trait with a play cost 4 or less from under your Tamers without paying its cost. Not a bad trade-off. You know, you're not really using it to get into the higher end. The higher end is literally your Z Greymon and your Lord Nightmon. You may play a level 4 or lower card from your trash without paying its cost. So basically, you're going to be able to play your level 4 lineup very comfortably. And they are using Z Millenniumon. Surprisingly, why is this in here is probably just because of the when attacking and control functionality, because you're not producing any tokens to use its overclock ability that I know of. So yeah, and there's no composite Digimon in this list besides Zed. So at the end of the day, I don't see it. I just see that they're just trying to tech it in just to evolve and just be Zed Millenniumon. Taking a look here on the last one, and this will wrap it up, is going to be Gallantmon. So yeah, taking a look here, Dukemon, the Gallantmon lines, you kind of can see the War Growls, and we'll just take a look at what we're kind of working with here. So the new lineup is you have the Gallantmon that's going to be, while you have 0 or less, add 2000 DP to DP deletion. So your goal is to get to 0 or less memory and be able to do your deletion skills, which is fine by us, all turns while you have 0 or less. So if it's on your opponent's turn, your like War Growlmon Ace now goes up for delete 3000 DP total of your opponent's Digimon, and then for each of their Digimon, add 2000 DP to the deletion maximum. And for each card deleted by this effect, gain 1 memory. So, and it also has the inheritable plus 3000 DP to DP based deletion effects. So you kind of combo it in nicely with your your Gallantmons, and then, you know, Crimson Mode Ace will now be able to delete a bunch of crazy stuff as long as the stack is really decent. The main focal point is Gallantmon definitely has its still unique weaknesses, and that is that if it gets deleted, it's bye-bye, lights out. But delete one of your opponent's Digimon 1000 DP or less, and if this effect didn't delete, this Digimon gains piercing and gets plus 3000 DP until the end of your opponent's turn. And then when a opponent's Digimon is deleted, gain 2 memory. So not a bad trade-off. DP deletion is always fun. You can just get up to very comfortably 15. So yeah, just taking that into account. Takatos, you know, start of your turn mem setter, and this one will digivolve into a card with Growlmon or Gallantmon is named. By spending this tamer, it gains raid for the turn, and then it can attack the player. Not a bad trade-off, actually, being able to give it raid and then basically say, yeah, we're gonna just swing in. You know what? Hey, that works for me. What about you? So this is covering all the kind of decks that we want to cover. So what do you guys think of this video? Let me know down in the comments. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you next one. Peace.